What's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today on the show we have Christina Knoll with We Help You Legal. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's Friday.
It is Friday. And you brought these donuts?
Yes.
Look at these things. Look at those.
Local
there.
business,
Oh my
Twisted and
gosh.
Glazed.
Twisted and Glazed. Now they're the ones that do all the, put
Rice Krispies, Fruit Loops, stuff on there. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles
Yeah.
and Butterfinger crumbles.
I didn't want to give you a sugar high, so I avoided that one today.
Yeah, I mean, that's some good
Regular
stuff right
donuts
there.
are enough. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Twisted
You're
and Glazed.
welcome.
Yeah. So We Help You Legal.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So We Help You Legal is a legal document preparation company. We're a low-cost alternative to an attorney. So we can't represent anybody in court or give legal advice, but we can help you prepare your legal documents for things like trusts, wills. We can help with uncontested divorces. I can also help incorporate and do LLCs. So we can do a variety of things that are going to keep more money in your pocket.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get into something like that?
My ex-husband started the business, and I came to help probably about 13 years ago, and was trying to figure out if I wanted to stay in the business. And I realized that I love the community I serve, felt like I was helping people. And so I went back to school, at the ripe old age of 40. And it was very interesting, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning about it. And I love being able to kind of explain these types of processes to clients who are not sure of what to do, where to go, where to start, how this process works. So that's been my favorite part, is just teaching clients what that process or that service is, so that they're as informed as I am about what's happening.
So, I mean, the one thing that you wanted to really get across is you're not an attorney.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. But you are kind of like that, a helping hand.
Correct. Attorneys have their place and time and need, and definitely if I'm reviewing information with a client and I see that it supersedes what I can do in my office, I'll refer them to an attorney. But I think people would be really surprised that you don't always need an attorney for everything. If you're agreeable with your divorce, which, believe it or not, people can be, then we're a great alternative, because we're going to take over and help them prepare their documents. They don't have to worry about filling in any boxes or knowing what forms to fill out. We provide them information prepared by an attorney for our association. They read it, and then we kind of work together to get them through the process. And that's kind of how we work on all our services. We have informational pamphlets that were prepared by an attorney for our association, and that helps the client to be really informed about what we're doing. We take their information in, and we help process things.
Now, I mean, I know competition is competition, but I mean, are there any attorneys that are like, hey, go see Christina, because we don't.
Surprisingly, yes.
Really?
They feel like it kind of, attorney is overkill to prepare a simple deed. You're transferring property into a trust, or you're passing it on to a child, or they will have us do that.
So there's still some good ones out there that.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Awesome.
I think they see that at the end of the day, we really just want to serve the community, and that may be where you have to meet them. They may not have all the funds for an attorney to do the things that they need to do. So it's an option. We're open, we're available. Things that people thought maybe were out of reach, like a living trust, is really more affordable than you would think, and really necessary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of stuff that you do, that you can do, but what are some of the things that you primarily do, around here for people? What's the primary call up?
The main thing that I'd like to see help people with are living trusts. If you own a home in this county, your home's going to supersede the probate limit. So we never know what could happen, and you protect yourself with a trust. Then you've set up all your wishes, and you know that it's going to pass on to who you'd like to leave it to, without any issues, without any court process, without any probate fees or taxes. So that's always a great thing. Powers of attorney are great for anybody over the age of 18. It's a document in which you name somebody to handle your affairs if you ever become incapacitated. So again, we never know when that would be. Great for college-age kids going off to college. Mom and dad still can help if something was to go awry. So I think that's a really good service to do too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So going back to the living trust thing, because we have it, we're a bedroom. Well, we're a wine country, but we're also. I still think that we're a bedroom community.
Mm-hmm.
Huge amounts of families and you know, our elders are getting there.
Correct, yeah.
So, and that's really where it comes into play. And they could just give you a call just to say, hey, Christina, you know, what should I do? Is this something that I should consider?
Right. I mean, a lot of people think that it's something that you want to prepare later in life, but a lot of the young families that live in the area, you get to name guardians for your minor children. So you get to choose, if something were to happen to you, who would you want to take care of them? So that's always an important thing too. But yeah, this area is pretty unique and pretty special. We're growing, and the values of our homes are growing. So you'd probably want to protect that for sure.
And now, how does one do like when they call? Do you pick up the phone, or does it have to go through some sort of like process of who's going to route the call and where's it going to go?
We have 3 LDAs in our office. We're all certified. Each one of us specializes in a little bit different things. So I help with probates, conservatorships, trusts, deeds, LLCs and incorporations. Chris in our office handles a lot of the trusts and the deeds. And then Lisa does our divorces, our quadros, unlawful detainers. We're doing evictions. We're slowly bringing those back in because the COVID laws have been a little bit sticky, but yeah, we have a range of services. So we would answer the phones and get you to the proper person. But most of it is giving us your information. We have standard questionnaires that we'll fill out. And then usually we have our documents all prepared for you in a week. So.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And from what I remember, it's not overly expensive for really
correct
most of the services.
I mean, you could try to do these things on your own and get the forms. And I tell my clients, with some time and inclination, you can figure it out too. But a lot of people don't have the time or the inclination, and maybe not the funds to hire an attorney. So that's kind of where we jump in. And
I think that's where we live is I mean, not necessarily where we live, mm-hmm. but I mean, just life in general. It's such a fast paced, and it's like, yeah, you could sit there and figure out how to go online and do your own. Right. But who wants to do that? There
are online competitors, but I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, people want to sit in front of somebody. Sure. They want to talk to somebody. They want something more personal. I have clients come in all the time that have done their documents online, and then I'm sitting there explaining their legal Zoom document to them. I'm organizing it for them, putting it in order. But yeah, that's my favorite part about this, is the people and helping people.
And that's usually where, I mean, any type of business is, mm-hmm. Personal, it's right, you and me, type deal, to where it's like, everybody's like, open up a little chat box, and it's like, no, it's like you get more frustrated and more, aggravated about this chat box than what you're online to do. So.
Exactly. Well, and I still have clients that will circle back. Hey, I'm in town, just want to say hi. And then more often than not, when they do leave, they say, that was easier than I thought it was. I don't know why I put it off. So that's what I would encourage people to do, is if it's something that's sitting on your back burner and you're thinking, God, I know I have to do this, come on in. We'll make it easy. It'll be painless.
So living trusts. What was the other one?
Divorces, LLCs, incorporations.
So LLCs. So tell me a little bit about the LLC. What's the benefit of that?
Limited liability company. Basically, you're limiting your liability if something were to happen in the course of your business in which you were litigated against. You're kind of creating a separation between your personal assets and the business. So something unfortunately were to happen, then all your personal assets are protected. Yeah.
So having the LLC, is that different than being incorporated?
It is. There's a slightly different structure, and then there's a different tax structure. So I'm not a tax professional, so I always forward that client on to, if you're not sure which one you need, I have information prepared by an attorney that kind of spells out the big differences. And then I encourage them to talk to a tax professional, because a tax professional is going to give them the nuances of the tax side of it, which is just as critical as setting it up. So once they find out that information, they come back to me, and again, I can have the documents ready in about a week.
Because you can have an LLC and or a corporation, and they can actually function as their own entities. Correct.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And then you can be a employee of your own.
Correct. Yes.
Entity.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like that it's actually the Secretary of State. There's some documents you have to process through them. They just updated their website. And so they run a little smoother now, which is surprising of a government agency. You think it's going to be like backlogged.
About
a week turnaround time, and you can be incorporated.
Interesting.
So.
Wow. And so what is each one different, or is there like pricing like for LLCs?
Yeah,
for
my
instance?
LLCs are not as are $550 and my incorporations are $650. There's a little more documentation that I have to prepare with the incorporations, but both come together in about a week.
What do you work with any nonprofits?
I can prepare nonprofit documents. The fees are the same because I'm still having to prepare the same amount of documents. And there's some tax things that they have to do on that side, which again, you have to have a tax professional lined up that's going to help you with that other side of it.
So you can start a nonprofit
Correct.
entity.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
For
Absolutely.
$600-800, something like
Correct.
that. So like a lot of, because I know a lot of, like, I'm involved with like youth sports. We're a nonprofit. Actually, probably a lot of the youth sports are. Just because
Yeah, I've done a lot of those for baseball, softball clubs. Yeah, we've seen everything from general contractors to somebody that was going to sell gardening kits for kids during the pandemic. It's really cool, the ideas and the business models that people come up with. It wasn't a nonprofit. The one that was going to do the gardening kits for kids during the pandemic, it wasn't a nonprofit, but just kind of cool to see what people in the area are doing.
So there's different nonprofits. There's a 501(c)(3). So do you do those?
Well, that's a tax designation. So I'll set the entity up with the Secretary of State and get them their entity established. And then their tax person is going to go and file their taxes that way as a 501(c)(3). Yeah.
Wow. So you know everything.
And a little bit of everything, a little bit of enough to get you the information that you need. And again, these are all imprinted materials that were prepared by an attorney for us. So I'm not telling you, I'm just helping to detail the information that's already there. Yeah.
So you ever see like the Geico commercials where she's sitting there listening like this? She's like, "Hey," you ever do that? Like when you're
sometimes it is, and sometimes you overhear conversations where you're like, "Hey, take my card." I was having a garage sale last week and somehow got into talking to a client. I'm like, "Oh, I can do your LLC." So it's always great to find out. My goal is like everybody needs. Rather than selling, just somebody need what I offer. So I find that it's really cool when I can make those two connect. Yeah.
And I almost feel like, most people don't know they need, things.
Yeah, absolutely. Or they think that they might, but they just don't know anything about it. There's
or where to go.
So much terminology out there, will, living trust. So I think that living will, and they walk in and they're like, I need this, or do I need this? And so we have some guidelines that they can read that help them kind of funnel them to the right thing that
so you're at least that starting point to where you can say, you're fine, you're doing everything what you need.
Yeah,
or
I think the name We Help You Legal invites a lot of people to call us about a lot of things. So even if I can't help, I like to have resources. Like, no, I don't do that, but these are numbers you can call. So that's always a good feeling too.
What's the craziest call you ever got with the We Help You Legal? You're like, we can't help you with that.
There's a lot of them.
I just think that it's so broad to where you like, hey, I'm stuck. I need, I don't know.
I know. Sometimes you just, we hear a lot, we see a lot. And I try to keep everybody's information private. I'm not an attorney, so I don't have attorney-client privilege, but I take it really serious. We live in a small town. It's kind of hard, though. Everybody in the town knows everybody, to have someone sitting in the lobby and someone walk in and go, hey, hi, hey, so that's kind of one of the cool things about here. Cool. Good, bad, everybody kind of ends up knowing everybody, and then everybody ends up knowing everybody.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So where are you located? How does people get in touch with you?
We are located actually very close to the courthouse. We're at 720 10th Street, corner of Spring and 10th. And then I have a secondary office in San Luis over by Black Horse Coffee, just off of Broad Street.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And website, can people go on there and check you out?
WeHelpYouLegal.com or www.WeHelpYouLegal.com. And then a lot of our questionnaires are on there. A lot of our informational packets are on there. So that's always a great place to start if you're even a little tentative about calling and getting started that way. But we're always happy to answer questions. If I don't have the answers, I'll funnel you to the person that does. So
yeah, because sometimes it's like one of those things to where it's it might be. People get embarrassed,
absolutely,
to talk about needing legal help.
Exactly. But my thing is to put them at ease. I think all of us really understand we've been in their shoes at some point or another, or know a family member that has. So definitely just want to come in and help, you know. Like I said, if we can't help you, then I will get you to the right person that can. And I don't want people to be afraid of getting the legal services started, you know. A trust has a lot of finality to it, but get it done, then it's off your mental checklist.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Christina, thank you so much.
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate it. Really appreciate your
Absolutely.
services.
Thank you.
So we'll
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll have to have you on more because like I said, it's such a big
this is fun
box of yarn that we could talk about all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Well, there you have it, guys. Christina Knoll with We Help You Legal. Make sure you reach out if you need her services. But as always, we can't do this without our sponsors. We have Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Story Termite Pest Control, El Red Rooster, Pacific 805 Spas, Airflow Filter Services, Kennedy Club Fitness, Pastorables Furniture, Amy and Jamie's Place, and 5-Star Rain Gutters, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Veux-tu danser avec moi?
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
We don't just serve it up, we roast it, distill it, brew it, craft it, crank it, bake it, make it, perfect it, cure it, paint it, live it, breathe it, and then we serve it up. All in Atascadero.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.